What's going on, folks? So, I'm releasing a bonus video today, and the reason I'm doing this song as a bonus is because I already know ahead of time it's in that like deathcore sort of genre. Now, before you all start throwing tomatoes at me, the reason that I'm doing this is because the gentleman who reached out to me about a previous song, I think it was Numenia, and asked if I did that. First of all, he's a super, super nice guy, and I was real happy that I did Numenia, even though I didn't know ahead of time it was like a deathcore sort of metalcore thing. But he was real happy about that, and then he reached out to me about this one here, and it's a new band, and his son is in it, and so he was really, really excited, and so. I told him that I would do it because, again, I think that's real cool. Like, his son's in the band, and he's a super nice guy. So I said I would do it, but, like, this is the last one, especially the fact that I know ahead of time it's like a deathcore sort of thing, which obviously is not what I really cover on my channel. But so I decided to make an exception there for this last time for this song here. So that's where we find ourselves. Just kind of want to explain my reasoning behind this, so everyone is aware ahead of time. But yeah, the name of this band is Deadfall, and the name of the song is Sorrow. And again, like deathcore and stuff's not really in my wheelhouse per se, but yeah, I mean, that's why, again, this is a bonus video, not replacing my normally scheduled daily like video of power symphonic or melodic rock kind of stuff. But anywho, without further ado, let's just dive on in and see what we got here, shall we? Rangers, go.
Reaching out,
Wow, I'm not gonna lie. I actually dug this quite a bit. It kind of took me back to like the 2000s, like some of that, like, uh, you know, I don't know what you call that back then. I think people just called it like metal or whatever. But that like heavier metal that's sort of, it was like early kind of metalcore, deathcore sort of thing. But at the time, I think it was just is like this metal. I mean, so many things were classified as like metal. I think you had like Breaking Benjamin was classified as metal, and then you had like Slipknot classified as metal. And then, you had death metal, which was kind of a little bit of a different thing, like Cataclysm and stuff like that. But anywho, I digress. But it's kind of took me back to a sound reminiscent of like the 2000s, and stuff that I would hear or like listen to and whatnot. And yeah, I mean, I dug this quite a bit. I would say it's very accessible. Even for folks who don't necessarily listen to metalcore, deathcore, all that stuff. This song is quite accessible. Like it almost even has like a radio friendly sound to it for a radio station that would have been playing, what's their name, like Mudvayne and all that stuff back in the day, like the hard rock and metal radio stations. This wouldn't have sounded out of place. Like it has nice melodies, and again, it's very accessible. The harsh vocals, even they're more like shouty in a lot of instances. They get a bit like even more harsh in spots, but they're a bit shouty in spots, which doesn't even sound wouldn't even sound out of place in like like old school Linkin Park and stuff like that, like the first couple albums, So it just is really accessible, and I thought it was really well crafted. And again, I enjoyed it quite a bit because you have like clean vocals in the verses and whatnot, and then you got some like shouting, screaming sort of stuff in the chorus. But the melodies and the rhythms were really nice. One thing I will say though is at the end, it was kind of funny, and I've noticed that this is a bit of a trend because my wife, she actually kind of likes deathcore and metalcore and stuff like that. So when we're in the car and stuff, sometimes she'll put on like a playlist or whatnot, and so I just kind of hear that stuff, and it sounds like these days like that scene. There's always like an obligatory blah spot. Like it's so common now. It's so funny. It's like I don't know when that originated, but now it's like you'd be hard pressed to find a song in that genre now where at some point the vocalist doesn't go blah and then stuff hits and all that. Like it's just so present. And so I found it kind of funny that was like just added there at the end of this song. Personally, I could have done without that. I think this song has enough personality and good things going for it to not have to add that in there, like just for seemingly no reason. It doesn't add anything to the song or anything. If anything, to me, it kind of detracts from like the quality of the rest of the song. So, yeah, I didn't care for that, but. Anywho, but yeah, I mean, the song is pretty cool. Like, I like a lot of the riffs. There's almost like a little bit of a new metal vibe in spots. And one thing that kind of reminds me of like the 2000s is I really like that kind of atmosphere that was created with this song. It kind of like an electronic sort of atmosphere. Like, you can really particularly hear it in the verses and stuff. And that was just really cool. I like the vocals in the verses. They're almost like soft spoken, and it was just really interesting. It has a really kind of cool vibe. And then when the chorus hits, it slaps. If for all intents and purposes, I thought it slapped. Like it hits hard. It's like ba ba ba, and the way he's like shouting it and the rhythm of like the guitars and the music, it just is really cool. Like the verses and everything kind of built up nicely into that chorus, and then that chorus just has a really cool vibe and really cool rhythm, and I dug kind of the melody and the approach of it and stuff like that. Oh, and then having like some female like backing vocals was really awesome. It added like another really cool layer to the sound and the song. And then they're like in the bridge, like you get a few different kind of vocal styles in addition to that like shouty screaming thing. You get a little bit deeper kind of stuff. It mixed it up a little bit, which was neat. And yeah, I mean, so vocally, I thought it was cool, and yeah, I love the backing like female vocals in certain spots was tight. The drum work was really cool. Some nice fills, some nice grooves there. The guitar work and the bass work were also really stellar. And yeah, I mean, again, the best way I can say is that this song is very, very accessible, and I enjoyed it. Like, there's a lot about it that I really, really enjoyed, and it just kind of took me back to songs in this style from like the mid 2000s kind of era, mid to late 2000s, what have you. So yeah, it's just I'm impressed. Not quite what I was expecting here. It wasn't like as in your face as I thought. There was a lot of substance here. So yeah, really, really cool. So very well done to the band here. I mean, me personally, like again, this genre isn't particularly my cup of tea, but I actually enjoyed this song quite a bit. So I think that accessibility from it is just really stellar. And yeah, I mean, I certainly wish the band the best. But anywho, let me know, folks, in the comments down below. I'd just be real curious. What'd y'all think of this song? What'd y'all think of it? Oh, and I believe their debut EP is also out, which this song is from. So cool stuff. Really, really was. So yeah, anywho, thank you all so much for tuning in. I'll catch you next time. Ranger out.